Thank you, Madam Chairman. Appreciate the opportunity to have these nominees in front of us today. I welcome each of you, beginning with Dr. Kimball. I note that you've been with the USGS since 1999. You've served as its acting director for over a year now. Your background is solid, an advanced degree in geology and geophysics, previously served as Associate Director for Geology. So again, I'm very encouraged by your background and your qualifications. I received a letter from a former Alaskan and friend and former head of USGS, Dr. Mark Myers, and he speaks very highly of you. Now, at the same time, Dr. Kimball, if you are confirmed as director, you still have a pretty considerable task ahead of you. I think you recognize that. Many of us believe that USGS has suffered from no small amount of mission creep in recent years. I'm a little bit concerned that some of the agency's newer priorities are perhaps pushing its core foundational missions to the margin. I think we see that particularly when it comes to the Minerals Resource Program, where funding has been cut by roughly 1/3 over the past decade. I'm also concerned that USGS seems to be de-emphasizing the budget for its core mission in natural hazard forecasting and warning, whether it's earthquake, volcano, or flood hydrology programs. I consider those deserving of budget priority since they're so vital for the health and safety of Americans, especially Alaskans. On Saturday morning, I woke up to a 5.5 rattler that shook everybody in town, but it was just one of those reminders that seismologists look at Alaska with great interest. In my questions, I'm also going to very briefly touch upon the King Cove road issue. As you know, this is an issue of major significance for me, not only because of its impact on the health and safety of Alaskans in King Cove, but because, in my view, it's emblematic of what I think is a need for more balance from Fish and Wildlife Service. The Secretary, unfortunately, has shown little regard for the people of King Cove and not very much interest in finding a solution at this point in time. And I understand that you did not make a decision with regards to rejecting the road, but I do want to ask you about the Black Brant because I know that USGS has studied it extensively. Mr. Lopez, you're nominated to be commissioner of an agency with a $1 billion budget, 5,000 employees and facilities across 17 western states. The Bureau and its leadership confront on a daily basis many challenging policy issues. Chief among them are the Bureau's efforts to strike a balance between its mission of water delivery and compliance with environmental laws and regulations at both the state and the federal levels. Requirements under the Endangered Species Act have emerged as a strong concern and are no small undertaking at a time of continuous drought in so many states across the West. Mr. Lopez, you've spent many years helping manage water delivery in a drought-racked state, so I'm curious as to how you plan to balance the need for water delivery with the limits imposed by environmental regulations. I don't know if you have viewed my Energy Water Nexus white paper that I released last week, but I'd be interested in your views on that. And then finally, Dr. Regalbuto, you are nominated to lead the Department of Energy's environmental cleanup efforts. Your extensive expertise working on nuclear waste-related issues should be valuable in addressing the pressing challenges to the Office of Environmental Management, including the situation at WIPP, at the Waste Isolation Pilot Plant, and ongoing overall nuclear material cleanup efforts. I'm also interested in hearing your thoughts on how best to proceed on issues related to the back end of the nuclear fuel cycle. Madam Chairman, again, pleased that we have these well-qualified nominees. I think most of them appear to be pretty non-controversial, so if the hearing goes well and we don't have any significant concerns emerge, I believe we'll be able to report them from our committee soon.